Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for a belated, dearly departed League One show for this week. So apologies from me to you and from me to Knappers, who was scheduled for Thursday night, but then parenthood and things got in the way and then we couldn't do Friday. So we're here on Saturday morning. So look, if you are here with us, and okay, it's short notice and it's early, please do get involved in the comments and hopefully you can watch a little bit after the fact before today's load of games. Knappers, how you doing? You've been a busy boy this week.
Yeah, obviously I've been good, thanks Ben. Obviously did a review show on Monday, then obviously I was in Sheffield on Tuesday, obviously watching one of our dearly departed teams. And then just kind of trying to catch up on all the football that's been happening, updating spreadsheets, which is a lot more harder than people may think because you've got to put all the yellow cards on, all the appearance. And kind of my week consisted of working out the age of an average 11 in League One so far. So, yeah, been quite good this week and quite busy. Thanks, Ben.
Oh, good fun. You can really tell EFL pundits when it gets to the end of a 3-game week. We're all absolutely just shot. So, look, this show, they're going to be quite tricky when we've had a 3-game week. And what we're going to try and do, we'll quickly bash through the games for each of our 5 teams. You can see them up the top there: Wycombe Wednesday, Rotherham, Wigan, and Charlton. Now, what will happen is we'll actually end up covering the Wigan games before we cover the Wigan games because they both played against other teams. But we'll try and do a little focus on each. Then we'll have a look ahead. We'll get Napper's thoughts on what's going to happen today in round 4. And then if there's any Q&A, any questions, get them ramped up now because it's early in the morning. We can hopefully back a few up. Knappers, our highest ranked team is Wycombe Wanderers. I do have to say, the dearly departed are currently 3rd, 4th, and 6th. So we're heading for 3 playoff teams at the moment. Let's have a look at Wycombe, who are a 7-pointer. Obviously, Pompey and Burton have gone out like an absolute train and have both got 100% records and 9 points. So the 2 games that Wycombe played, let me see if I can get it up on the screen. It was 4 points for Wycombe in these past 2. Obviously, we covered them on the first week. It was a 3-1 win at Cheltenham, really Pendlebury, with just 2 quality finishes at the end of that game. It looked a fairly even game, and then just that little bit of quality taking Wycombe over the line. And then a very, very late equaliser by Tony Stewart over at Wigan. Again, we'll cover Wigan kind of half now and half later. Where are you standing on Wycombe at the moment, Knappers? Undefeated. They've had a close escape there at Wigan, but they look decent, don't they?
Yeah, and I said Wycombe would go up automatically, and I still believe that. And I love their squad. They've got an average age of 29 on Tuesday. And you look at it, Jacobson's 31, Stockdale's 35, McCleary's, late 30s as well, Vokes in his 30s. But then Pendlebury against Cheltenham, a young lad, still like a teenager.
It was the same goal twice, wasn't it? Drilled them both in right foot. You'd think they'd have learned from the first one.
Absolutely, and I said last week away when he's going to be a good player. It's good to see a bit of youth in that Wycombe side because I felt like as the season goes on, old bodies start to wow, and you do need that bit of exuberance and a bit of young blood in there, and he's given them that. And I think they've got enough quality over the board. They've got enough goal scorers, a solid defence, a lot of versatility, which I like. Sully Kaikai's been playing wing back for them, it seems, and. Yeah, I think that they've got the potential to go all the way. Winning away at Cheltenham, we've got them today at home. I think it's a good win. That very good win to go to a side on a good run from last year, winning the league, 82 points, going there scoring 3 goals against a side that didn't let many in last year. I think it's an excellent result.
The game against Wigan, I just watched a 2-minute highlight package just before we came on. That looked like that could have been about 3-3. There was the ball. We obviously had a very late equaliser. I think there was a a few good other chances as well. But good sides don't lose these games, don't they? And not an away goal, a late away equaliser will buoy the confidence there, won't it?
Absolutely. And if you don't win games, you want to draw games. And that's what that Wycombe side have in abundance. They never give up. And yes, sometimes they might not have the quality of another team. They might not have the budget of a bigger team, but they'll go to the end. They're like bulldogs. They literally, you don't know when they're beating. And that is a sign of a good team. And that's how the manager sets them up. And that is a proper manager and a proper team. And I said it, when they beat us in the playoffs, they look like a proper team. We didn't. And they've kept that. And normally sides that have come down the way Wycombe have, a lot thought they'd be disappointed that that great win at the end didn't keep them up. But they've just gone, you know something, I want to prove to you that PPG wasn't a fluke and we're a good side. And, you know, they got into the playoffs 2 years ago on merit on how many games he'd played.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of Reading fans chiming in on Pendlebury there. How good has Pendlebury been? Reading let him go this summer. Seems to be another mistake. Surprised Reading released Pendlebury. It's difficult, isn't it? It's always annoying after the fact when your club releases a player, but you never know how it's going to turn out. And Reading obviously sort of reasonably well stocked in those positions. But I always say that the cream rises, doesn't it? And the good players find their way back if they're going to. But yeah, certainly looks like there's something there with Pendlebury. Jamie says, isn't Gareth Ainsworth the best manager of the league? Certainly. If he gets another promotion out of them, then yeah, it's going to be looking that way. Adam, I think that's going to set us up for going and talking about Sheffield Wednesday and a scrappy game versus Fleetwood. And we got some good insight on that because someone here was in the stadium for that one, weren't they? So let's move on to Wednesday, who are in fourth. And I really don't want to disrespect Fleetwood or Doncaster here, certainly not in front of you, Knappers. But when you come down and you Sheffield Wednesday and you have a 3-game week and there's 2 home games, that's where you're expected to pile the points on everybody. And Wednesday, after drawing the opener down at Charlton, Wednesday get the 2 wins. They haven't conceded a goal yet. They beat Doncaster 2-0. There's a really good Barry Bannon goal in there. We're expecting him to perform this season, aren't we? And then, well, I won't talk about the game against Fleetwood because you were actually there, so there's not really much I can add that you're not going to. But 2 home games, 2 clean sheets, and no goals conceded. Are you as high on Wednesday as I seem to be, Knappers? And talk to me about the game midweek.
Yeah, obviously, I like the way that you said they should win, and they have won. That's what good teams do. I know, Sheffield Wednesday got a much better squad, and they should beat teams like Fleetwood and teams like Doncaster. But Sunderland a few years ago were drawing those games, you know, and couldn't get it over the line, where Sheffield Wednesday have come down and gone, right, and preyed on weaknesses. Doncaster, in my opinion, are a very, very poor side. You know, they'll be around the bottom for the end of the year. They haven't got enough goals. They haven't got enough quality. And I believe they'll be down there, but it's a good win, a good clean sheet. Against us, if I was a Wednesday fan, I'd be frustrated coming out of that ground because I think they put 6 crosses across the box that our defenders missed. They just needed a tap in. And it could have been a lot worse than 1-0. Yes, Fleetwood losing 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday is not a bad result. Were we dogged? Yes. Did we hang in there? Yes. Did we give everything for the cause? Yes. Did we look like scoring? No. Do we have any attack flair? No. Did we play badly? I personally thought it was a poor performance because if we could have been there another 90 minutes and we wouldn't have scored, they were not out of second gear, but they won the game. But I do feel when they're playing the better side, they're going to have to take those crosses into the box, get a touch on them, and just try and make that little bit of quality count because I thought they were better, but we were dreadful. And all I keep hearing is how good our number 22 is. And so it's water's wet now, do you know what I mean? He's good, but we're not doing anything. We're not giving him service. So why we don't do that, we're going to be in the bottom 4.
I don't want to misrepresent what you're saying, but it sounds like you think that was a nice week for, especially with hindsight, that was a nice week for Wednesday at the start of the season to bed in and perhaps harder games will be coming up, right?
Yeah, like
especially this afternoon, which we'll get onto in the preview. But sorry, go ahead.
absolutely, and derbies are always tough. But yeah, I think beating Doncaster hard, at home, rivalry, there's over 20,000 fans in the stadium, 1,500 visitors, and then you go in again playing Fleetwood, not maybe as many crowd in, 200 Fleetwood ultras in the away ends. It can be difficult to break these teams down, but they did it. They got a goal, a very poor goal to concede from our point of view, but again, good save by Kens originally, then Lee Gregory's there to tap in. He's a very good signing for this level. You see what he's done at Millwall. Maybe didn't quite get the chances at Derby and Stoke, but at League One level, he's one of the best strikers in League One.
Yeah, and we talked about the market a lot, and you've quoted Burton talking about rummaging through the bins. It seems less so this season. It seems like Championship clubs not really able to justify holding on to a Lee Gregory given the COVID financials. And it does feel like players who wouldn't normally have dropped to League One have dropped to League One this season. So I think with the haves and the have-nots there are a few strikers in that sort of mould. Full house at Rotherham this time. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, Jamie. We got two dearly departed derbies this week to talk about the way it's worked out. Right. Speaking of dearly departed derbies, one of those is Rotherham. We talk about Rotherham now, who are in sixth. But we didn't expect Rotherham maybe to be losing so early in the season. They lost the second game over at Wigan. Very, very late goal in that one. Set play, and Will Keane heads it in to give Wigan the win. Then Michael Smith kind of turns into I don't know who for some peak ridiculous dribble in and thunderbolt finish there. So Rotherham into sixth position. Not many goals in these games. 1-0 against and then 1-0 for. But 6 points from the first 3 games. We always bang on about 2 points per game, don't we, in 46-game league. How are you feeling about Rotherham?
Yeah, very solid. I think they could do maybe a Cheltenham of what they did in League Two last year. Maybe not score many goals, but be very hard to beat and very congested in the back. Not concede many and rely on that, a bit of quality from your Smiths, your Lepardos, your Rathbones, those types of players. But they've got enough in them to challenge again and to go to Morecambe. For over 4,000 now in the stadium for Morecambe. That's incredible attendance. A fair play to them. We were on a good run. A draw against Ipswich, a win against Shrewsbury. The confidence was very, very high, and I backed Morecambe to win that game. I thought, I know they were 3-1 with the bookies. I really fancied Morecambe, but to go there, unsettle the crowd, get out away, win, keep a clean sheet. Good signs after a disappointing, defeat away at Wigan.
Absolutely. And here chimes in. Is Michael Smith too good for League One? He's certainly a high caliber League One player. He's probably not one that's going to bang in, 20 plus goals, is he? He spends most of his game with his back to goal and running the channels and stuff. But bid came in from Borough, didn't it? I don't know whether that was before Ikpeazu went in there and whether they're sorted for a huge, great striker up at Borough. But he certainly does the business at League One level, doesn't he, Smith?
Yeah, he's a good player and I like him a lot. And, you talk about back to goal, that's exactly what Ched Evans was for us and how I miss him. And you see the difference that these strikers can do. They can bring it into play, they hold the ball up, you can chest it down. And they are good in the final third, which a lot of the strikers that are good back to goal can't quite finish the dinner. And Smith will get you between 10 and 15 goals this season and, really, really settle them down. And he won't just get that, he'll get a lot of assists, he'll get a lot of knock-ons and, bring others into play, which is, really good. And sometimes it can take 2 men to mark him because he's so big, he's so hard to deal with and so physical.
I totally agree. That player is so useful in League One where often the ball goes forward fairly early, often in League One, doesn't it? There's not that much, quote, messing about with it at the back. And you need that guy who can stop it bouncing straight back and, like you say, get it down and get it into the channels. We've kind of already mentioned Wigan twice via their opponents, and Wigan just seem to have had a horrendously difficult fixtures for the first 3 games, haven't they? Because they played Sunderland away in the first game, and then the recent 2 games, they got that 1-0 win over Rotherham, the late one, and then very, very nearly beat Wycombe as well. So difficult start. Only 4 points on the board. But to be honest, if I'm a Wigan fan, am I not? That's pretty good for those opening games. And frankly, not for a late goal by Stewart of Wycombe. It's 6 points, and you're looking absolutely fine. Is your glass half full if you're a Wigan fan off those 2 games?
I think you're looking positive, but you're thinking 2 points drop there and you're disappointed. But we could be sat here and they're sat on 1 point, and they only beat Rotherham and you don't beat Wycombe. But again, you got a point against Wycombe, which I think most fans from Wigan would have taken before the game. Beat Rotherham in the last minute, and Sunderland away is always tough. But it's good to get these sides out of the way first before they get on a good run and before the players come in. So I think you got to look on the positives. You're up on the board. You've won your first game. You've kept your first clean sheet. Now all is going to get that first away win. Then they're up and running, and then they can go on that good running. Maybe go and challenge the top 2 in Portsmouth and Burton at the moment.
And it's just, I guess it's just good to get those games out of the way, because you know that you're not going to now be playing pretty much for 3-4 months. You're not going to be playing Rotherham, Sunderland, or Wycombe again. And we do suspect, look, they're all up in the top 8 at the moment, or we do suspect they'll possibly be in the top 6 before long, and those games will start to get even trickier. Let's talk about our lowest ranked team now, which is Charlton, who are down in 20th. By God, Knappers, they're even below Ipswich. Charlton, no wins so far. They had that draw, which we covered last time against Wednesday. 2 defeats since then. Oxford away, MK away. I suppose I'd put them both in that bracket of teams that, if they have a good season, will sort of challenge. But they're not the big boys that we're expecting to be top 4 this season. So difficult games and away games, but sort of 2 quick goals in the first half at Oxford did for them on transition. And then at MK, they had the lead in that one and let slip. Slow start from Charlton. Where are they fitting in with all this? They're lagging behind a little bit here.
Yeah, they are, but they've got a very good team, Charlton. I like it. The first 11 is, decent. Your Stockleys, your Connor Washingtons, your McGoldricks, your Dobsons, your Femawells. They've recruited very well, but they're still 5 or 6 men short, and it's criminal how short they are going into a League One season. They finished just outside the playoffs last year. I thought their business would have been a lot more quicker, a lot more to the point. Get your bodies in, done. And they haven't done that. I know there's still, a week left of the window. There's still about a month left of the loan window, so they can still recruit. But I still think they're miles short. And they've got some good players, don't get me wrong. But I look at the bench and it's like, well, who can we bring on? And there's no one, really. And you've got your Ben Watsons, but he's not really going to change the game. Your Davidson's, who was at Forest Green, not really hits it there. Then after that, you're thinking, you really want to look at your bench and think there's 4 or 5 players here. Fleetwood at the start of last year with it, where we probably had a bit too much depth, and that's what Charlton need to find. They don't want to bring too much quality in, because then you've got 2 or 3 unhappy players that can unsettle the group. But if they can bring possibly 2 or 3 players that are going to be in and around the squad and know their role, I think they'll be just fine. I think they need another centre half, another midfielder, and definitely another attacking player, 100%. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I don't think you need to worry about Charlton. They started slow last year and then went on an amazing run. I think they won like 7 games in a row. They're unbelievable at home, and they went to go and lose 7 games at home in a row. So very mixed bag for Charlton last year, but they'll be okay. They'll be in and around the playoffs, I believe.
I think Jamie agrees with you there. Spoke to my friend who's a Charlton fan, worried about the team squad depth. Not impressed at MK on Tuesday, however. MK performance was really encouraging. Again, not what I want to hear today with with my lot playing MK and falling over every banana skin that gets put in front of him. Anyway, this is not a show about me moaning about Ipswich. Let's have a look at the table then, Knappers. So we mentioned them 3, 4, 6, 14, 20. So Wycombe in there on 7 points. Yeah, look away now, right?
Can you just get rid of the bottom 3, please?
Should we
bottom
do
4,
that?
sorry.
I can't get rid of the bottom 6 because Charlton are 5th bottom, which I could scroll it down, but look, we're just going to have to go with it, man. So Wycombe 3rd, undefeated. Wednesday 4th, undefeated. They're tied up on 7. Rotherham have lost the game, but we all know 46-game season, you can lose 10 games as long as you're getting wins and not draws, like you mentioned with Sunderland over the past couple of seasons. You're fine. Then Wigan tucked in 14th, mixed bag there, but difficult games. Charlton down low. Right, higher or lower, Knappers? So Wycombe are 3rd. Are they going to end up higher or lower?
Higher.
Wednesday are 4th, higher or lower?
The same, 4th.
Interesting. I didn't give you that option, did I? Rotherham 6th, higher or lower?
Higher, 5th.
Interesting. Wigan and Charlton, I think we can both agree higher on that, yes?
Yeah. Well, Charlton minimum, they can finish his 23rd at the moment with little Fleetwood down there. So they're all right. So, no, they'll both finish a lot higher than they are. I think they'll get on good runs, recruit well. And, they've got Atkins and Richardson, very different managers. I know you're a bit wounded about Liam Richardson. You wanted him as your assistant manager.
Really did, yeah.
But he's recruited very well. The players he's brought in, he's worked with before. Watmore, he's brought in, and he brought obviously Tom Naylor in, and he also brought Iain Edwards in, who he's got a contact with Cookie, hasn't he? So they can talk about what character now they get to get the best out of him. So I like that.
Great stuff. So it's cause for optimism. I think there might be even if it's a slight trend for some of them, we can argue movement up going forward from all of those teams. But start looking at the table. Not everybody can go up. Someone's got to be dropping down positions. Right, here is what is going on today. Let's do Wycombe first because they're highest ranked. Wycombe are at home to Lincoln in the 3 p.m. You can join us for the super stream to be looking at that. Lincoln 4 points as well, mitigating a few departures and a playoff final loss last season. Any thoughts on Wycombe versus Lincoln today, Knappers?
Well, I watched Lincoln last week, and I must say, I know Wednesday fans are very good away from home, but 8,000 Lincoln fans were incredibly louder than 21,000 Sheffield Wednesday fans. And I know that's not going to go down too well, but Lincoln fans are incredible. And I said on my vlog, I went, if that's behind closed doors, then they don't win that game of football. And I thought they'd go on a little bit of a run. We held back against Bolton, but they've got some very good players, Lincoln. Your Scully's, Daniel Dudu's back today, Adelican's back to full fitness. Then they've got a good midfield, Adoon at the back. They've just signed TJ Ayoma back as well from Tottenham. So I like their core, I like their group, I like the manager, but I equally like Wycombe as well. And they get home, Adams Park. It's going to be a fortress this year. You've got some very good players, very experienced players, very young players as well. I reckon it could be 2-1 either way today. I think it's going to be a very good game, very good attacking sides, and both sides will be in the top 8 come the end of the season. If they're not, it's criminal.
Archie says, in this matchup, Jacobson scored a hat-trick, including one straight from a corner. That was literally every game. We're going to get that at West Brom this season, where they're going to score from a set play every single game. That was Wycombe a couple of seasons back with Jacobson. Then we've got 2 nice and easy workload for us here. We have to talk about 3 games this weekend because there's 2 dearly departed derbies. Rotherham versus Sheffield Wednesday. I'm not going to ask you to call this one because good luck with that one. But tasty. I think it must be on Sky, mustn't it? If it's a early kickoff, or is that just a police? Yeah. It's just a police thing, is it? Rotherham Wednesday. Up for a scrap in this one then, Knappers?
It's going to be a battle, and it's going to be which side that wants it more. And both sides are good. They started very well, but I like Wednesday's group. I don't think they can see many goals. I think they got enough goals going forward. And I saw a Rotherham fan saying he didn't want any Sheffield Wednesday fan players in his team. Well, if I was picking a team, I think it'd be mostly Sheffield Wednesday players. Your Banners, your Lee Gregory's, your Peacock Farrells. They've got an incredible, group. And some of the players they brought off the bench the other day, by the way, was incredible. And the flick-ons that he did, it was just like they're a level above. So I just think Wednesday will have a little bit too much quality for Rotherham. I think it's going to be a one goal that wins it. It normally are these types of games. They're very tightly contrasted, but it's like one moment of quality.
A lot of attention on Lewis Wing today, isn't there? Did I misread those quotes? He basically just didn't want to go to Rotherham. Is that right? Because obviously he was on loan there last season, or am I misrepresenting that?
He did say that, but I think it's a football cliche. You're not going to say when you're playing for one of the rivals you want to go back over the club that you're at now. You're going to say, you are going to say, yeah, this is the club I want to be at, the ambition of this football club. I got an offer from Rotherham, but as soon as I knew Sheffield Wednesday were interested, I was interested. So I don't really read into that too much. I think it's one of the old cliches in the book. So I think one of our players, I was the big the other day, I think in a 25-second clip that Fleetwood put on, I think he used 8 cliches, which must be a world record. So fair play to the lads.
There you go. Very, very good. I try and avoid them, but sometimes you find you kind of padding and speaking and it just comes out, and you'll be able to tell in my face when I've pulled out another cliche. Right, yeah, last one then.
I do it a lot. Sometimes I think I'm the Fleetwood manager the way I thought, yeah, we were good, but we'll go again.
One more, and it's a dearly departed derby again. Charlton versus Wigan. The two slow starters in the bottom half of the table. I'd be more optimistic if I was a Wigan fan, but obviously they've got to go away now, having played the 2 home games. I think you're maybe a bit higher on Charlton than I am, Knappers. How do you see this one going, Charlton versus Wigan?
I think it's a good time for Charlton to pick up some points. Back at home, a tough period away from home. But again, Charlton fans should be, what over 15,000? I know Wigan fans have been backed by a good number as well. So it's a good chance. Get on the lads, support them. And, Nigel Atkins, I think he's done a very good job so far. Yes, he hasn't had the run of the green at times, but I think that Charlton winning this. I think it's time to up and running. It's been a mixed bag for Wigan so far. I don't think they've been at the full best in each game, and slightly fortunate to beat, Rotherham, but very unlucky not to beat Wycombe. So I'm just fancying a Charlton win. I think it's time for them to get on the board.
Tremendous stuff. There we go. Right. If there are any questions in the chat, we know we've got your early out of bed on your match day this week, and there's going to be people already on their way to away games, aren't there? Any questions come in, please indulge us today, and we will do 30 seconds on Fleetwood and 30 seconds on Ipswich. I've talked about Ipswich a lot this week, Knappers. I've been asked about Ipswich a lot. And I keep saying I've gone from, in the first 2 games, look, they need time. 1 million players have come in. And now I still think they need time, but the results are just terrible for Ipswich. And the manner of not conceding many chances, but loads of goals going in. I understand as well everybody having a good laugh at Ipswich, bunging a ton of money in on salary and not able to win a game yet. What's your take from the outside on my lot, Knappers? MK Dons today, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's a very, very, very difficult situation that you're in, because everyone wants to beat you. Look how much they spent, look how much we spent. Go and beat them, go and prove that, money doesn't matter. It's togetherness, and it's a group, and it's a core, and that's what I believe that everyone's doing. And you said it last week, and you hit the nail bang on. You don't have any leaders in that. And I looked at it and I thought, Ben's right. I'm like, if they go 1-0 down, where do I see a togetherness or a core coming from? And there's no nasty players. You're too nice, and nice teams don't win. I want my team going out there being intelligent, winning free kicks, buying the referee, getting in teams' faces, being aggressive, being on the front foot. I don't care if we lose. I just want to, be up for a battle. And I don't think Ipswich are that at the moment. So I reckon they're still, 5 games away, but they just need that rub of the green. Look at Blackpool last year. Like yourself, let go of 21, brought 17 in, 1 win in the first 7. And these weren't, lost 4-1 to Ipswich at home. They were lost to Wimbledon away, down to 9 men. So I think you just need to give Ipswich time, and you will get there. Trust the process. Paul Cook's a good manager. You don't lose it overnight. And, basically your new squad's, you're playing plays that position at the back as well. I know
Edmondson is still not going to be back. And I mean, the ridiculous thing as well, I think since we last spoke, Knappers, Tom Carroll and Burgess have been signed as well. It's insane, isn't it?
Absolutely, and great money for Accrington, £800,000 for him. And
Accrington always get good money out of Ipswich. Don't worry about that.
Sustaining the club. You might as well go and own it. Accrington as well. Just send a monthly payment. But I reckon you will get there. But you're plays that position at the back. Junaid Neshin being one, we know him very well from his loan spell last year, playing I think right the back 4 the other day. So just give it time, you'll get there.
Just if you want to see some chaos, if it didn't go well at your club today, if Ipswich don't win, and I'm not even talking about if Ipswich don't lose, just type in #ITFC around 5 p.m. and look at the meltdown and the confusion amongst Ipswich fans. Talking to me about Fleetwood then. Fleetwood are playing Cheltenham, who threw a couple of long throws into the box, having been well and truly outplayed in the first half, and beat Ipswich on Tuesday. So Fleetwood, Cheltenham, and Knappers, Fleetwood, problematic here. Keep your questions coming, by the way. We'll jump into them after Knappers has talked about Fleetwood. 3 straight defeats. Cheltenham at home today, and you'll be there, I take it.
Yeah, of course. It's a long throwing derby. We've got James Hill who likes to throw it into the box. They've got Boyle, good player. Been a very big fan of him for a while now. Cheltenham at home again will be tough. They play a back 3. They are shot the left-footed centre half, I must admit. But if you're left-footed and you're a defender in League One and you're a centre half, you can add $100,000 onto your price tally. Put it that way, they're that hard to come across.
Any league, Knappers, and another $500,000 if you're English, and if you play for Oxford and your name's Rob, another $2 million. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Rob Atkinson, Rob Dickey. Look at what Rob Dickey's been doing. He's been one of the best players in the Championship this season. But again, against Portsmouth, I was very encouraged by the first half. I thought we played very well. I thought Portsmouth were poor, and we created one good chance. And I thought, okay, we aren't good enough. We know that. 1-0, fair play. Go to Stoke. I don't really take note. No, it was a cup game. They beat us 2-1. Could have been more. Then I go to Lincoln and we were 1-0 up. And I thought, around 60 minutes, I thought, something. Win for something here. And he changed it. He just brought 2 subs on and tried to shore it up. And I get that's what all managers do. But then at 1-1, the sucker punch. Then he brings another defensive change. That is where you kind of want to bring an attacker on and go for it. Because at the end of the day, we need to win games of football. Not draw, win. At the end of the season, I get maybe shore it up for a point. But again, losing 2-1 by a penalty, which he doesn't need to go into the challenge, he does. And then the last game, Wednesday away, it was 1-0. We fought, but it could have been 6 or 7-0. Literally, by the amount of crosses that came into the box, the amount of chances they had, the amount of little breaks they had, we didn't really create anything. I am worried, but Lincoln, Portsmouth and Wednesday will all be in the top 10 at the end of the season. Mark my words.
Agreed. And
they are a good side. Cheltenham at home today, everyone's saying it's a must-win game. I agree. But they're a decent side. Decent out. They're going to be horrible.
They're horrible. They're horrible to play against.
That's what you want, though, Ben. I just said that's what Ipswich are.
Absolutely. No, I'm not saying it as a bad thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Long balls, long throw-ins into the box, in your face. You've got some good players. And all I'm going to say is, Rotherham fans will know where I'm coming from. We had Carvasell on loan last year, and I slagged him off. I've been saying how bad he was. That was the worst striker. You just know he's going to score the winner today, don't you? So, I think it's time to get a win on the board, but I'd take a point all day long now just to get on the board.
Absolutely. Right, let's go into some questions here. Let's jump in there. Are Burton genuine contenders for automatic promotion? They're on a run. They seem to be well managed, well coached. Is there a danger that the quote bigger clubs, as they get up to speed, will move past them? How consistent do Burton have to be to get automatic this season?
Very consistent. You are looking at about your 1.9. I know you like your 2, but I think 1.92 would be okay. But I reckon Burton will be in around the playoffs. I said that at the start of the year. I reckon about 10th to 12th mark. But I don't see why they can't be in around the top 6, top 2. Come back to me. I wouldn't be surprised.
Bottom 4. Is anything changing your?
Yes.
Well, let me reframe, because obviously you did your 1 to 24s recently, didn't you? Is anything changing your mind, or is there anyone you're now more worried about than 4 games ago? Don't say Fleetwood.
No. Well, I had the bottom 4, and I said Cambridge. I still think they'll go down. Cheltenham, I do still think they'll go down. Who else did I have? Cambridge, Cheltenham. I had Morecambe down there as well, who I said I thought they'd go down. I can't remember my other one. Who was my other one? Anyway, but I reckon 3 of the teams I still said would go down will go down, but I don't think Morecambe will go down. I think Fleetwood will go down instead. And I'll be honest with you, I had Fleetwood in my bottom 4. I got to record and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So for the first time, my bias got in the way.
You've got to leave it at the door.
I didn't leave it at the door.
You've got to leave it at the door, man.
And then I put Fleetwood as 20th. So, yeah, put it that way.
It's a good question from Lee, actually. Do you think Wednesday having a big away following? I know what he means. We've all seen it, where you turn up for a game and you're playing at home to a team that's in the top 2, top 3 maybe, and they bring a ton of fans. They don't play very well and they beat you. Do you know what I mean? And there's just this momentum between the manager, the players, the club, and the fans. And I mean, honestly, Ipswich had it a little bit when they were on their runs, and all the what we found as Ipswich fans is loads of new grounds to go to. So people were far more up for going to Southend or Gillingham than they were for going to Derby for the 15th season running, or Forest or whoever. So I actually agree with Lee that for these clubs that are down for the first time, obviously you have to match that against everybody raising their game and wanting to beat the big old Sheffield Wednesday. But do you think those full away ends can make a difference?
Of course, they spur the team on. And I just said at home last week. I know they're at home, but Lincoln won their side of the game last weekend. Portsmouth, they got that goal and they spurred the team on and they kept a clean sheet. Would they have kept hold of the lead if fans weren't there? Probably. But again, when you've got a sold out away end singing your name, you're more likely to put your blocks in, you dive everywhere. So I like it. I think I do agree with that. I think it helped the fans. Does it get on the back of the referee? Sometimes.
Where was that one about top scorers? There we go, Luke. I'll bring them up for you, Knappers. Cole Stockton, of course, scored twice against Ipswich, didn't he? Ironside, Stewart, Parrott, McCleary. Any of those names going to be there, and any names you expect to be appearing on that list that aren't already there?
I think Ironside will get 10 to 15. I think he will slow down. I think he scored pretty much every one of Cambridge's goals so far. Same with Andy Williams. He's been a big part of them. I think McCleary will get goals as well. So I think they'll all be up there. I think you've got to wait for your likes of your Lee Gregory's to get firing. Your Jaden Stockleys, your Stephen Humphreys, your Charlie Wykes, those types of players. So, I think it'll be one of the 4 I've just mentioned, but I don't see why the ones who have been scoring now won't carry on.
Absolutely. I wonder how many Will Keane will get if he can actually stay fit for a season at Wigan. Any other questions here that we can put out? Oh, I hate that term. Bottling. Sunderland and Lee Johnson. Where are you seeing Where are you seeing them for the time being? 8th. Did win their first 2.
Around about the playoffs like they are now. I don't think the squad is great. I think like Portsmouth, they've weakened every single year they've been in this division. And, you look at the first year, the squad that you had, your Madger up front, very, very good team. I just don't see Sunderland, top 2 this year. I know they were very unlucky the other day with that disallowed goal, which was it offside, I'm not quite sure. But I just don't see where goals are coming from. I don't see where that, nastiness is coming from as well. So let's see where they finish. But will they bottle it? I'm not quite sure. Wouldn't like to say.
Let's just give Alex a shout because he's always very supportive of my work. I'm sure you know of him. Go and give him a sub over there. I'm sure when Ipswich play Fleetwood, I bet we'll get to see him and Knappers on the same screen at the same time at some point there. I think we're all good there, Knappers, for today's show. Again, thank you everybody for joining. Apologies to everybody. Won't be a 3-game week every week, and we'll get nice and organised this coming week, and we'll do a nice evening show where we've got lots of time and we're not shooting off to any games. Knappers, I say this every time on the show. We only cover 5 teams. Where do people go to hear about all 24?
Over on my channel, CODS Vlogs, CODS, Vlogs, VLOGS. Again, doing a lot of live shows on a Monday evening at the moment, discussing, an hour, on, the results. I do 5 particular teams every show, talk about them for, 4 or 5 minutes, and then I have like we do at the end, we have a 10-minute Q&A at the end. So if you want to give me a subscription, I'm now only 118 away from that 7,000 mark. We're growing quickly, so I did make a deal with my mate to, if we could get 7K by the end of the year. His own segment in the vlog every week, which I'm sure he's looking forward to if we do it. So if you could help me out, that'd be massively appreciated.
Get him up there. So if you haven't already, go and sub to Knappers. Knappers, I always say this as well. Even if you don't use YouTube that way, because some people just will go onto YouTube and type in Sheffield Wednesday or Charlton or whatever, and not subscribe to it. Just hit subscribe on his channel anyway. Get those numbers up for him. Great creator and certainly very, very helpful for my League One brain whilst I'm completely submerged in 5 million championship games per day and babies not sleeping and all that good stuff. Right, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been a Dearly Departed League One edition. We will be back. We will do an evening next week because it's not a 3-game week. So we'll be back probably after Knappers work at sort of 8:30 one evening next week. So do come and join us. If you say thanks at the end here, we'll pop it up in the advert at the end of the stream. And we will see you very, very soon. Knappers, say goodbye.
Bye-bye, guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your game today.
And enjoy wherever you go. Enjoy me for the Saturday Super Stream. By the way, you got a mention on the Super Stream when your guys scored at Lincoln the other day. Your name came up. Not when Lincoln scored, actually, but when Fleetwood scored, for sure. So, join me at 2:30 for the Super Stream. And a vlog out tonight, Knappers, for Fleetwood?
Of course. I've just done my intro, edited that, ready to go. My microphone's all set. So, a bit like Mary Poppins, I'll be on my way in about 10 minutes, so I can't wait.
How is there a Mary Poppins mention already? Unbelievable. All right, have a great day, everyone. Join me later. Get on Knappers vlog tonight, and we'll see you for this lineup in the middle of the week. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.